Welcome there, traveller. Please, take a seat, grab a drink, and enjoy the Sunday session.
You have an intro for us?
Yes. Previously, our brave heroes managed to infiltrate Strahd's castle, in the process killing his babes and nicking his book. After a long battle and settling in for a snooze, they found Irina to be pregnant with a witch baby. The next day they went to deal with the leader of Baba Lysaga, and, after some tense discussion, they forged a pact, and in the process nearly killed Narlag again. Having solidified the agreement between Irina and the witches, our heroes went on to a meeting with the War Council. After much protesting and discussion, they eventually agreed to the arrangement, including Wick getting the Sun Sword. Will this spark the final confrontation with Strahd? Will Narlag master the powers in time for everything to shake down? Will Wick sneak around Mordenkainen's mansion looking for something to steal? Done.
What was that? What was any of that?
What was that voice? I need to know.
Yeah, I'm out. That's it. Like, I'm just gone.
Yeah, alright.
That sounded like it was Matthew McConaughey by way of early Keanu Reeves.
Alright.
Dude.
It's like, alright, oh, whoa.
So anyway,
Okay. Anyway,
This
after
happened.
you guys have been, the conclusions of the War Council and the battle plans have been sort of discussed. You have, everyone else has left the meeting space, and you guys were also escorted by Mordekainen and his unseen servants. Well, his seen servants. To various bedchambers throughout the mansion and given a night's rest. During of which you are able to sort of recount your actions of the last couple of days, which have been significant. You have infiltrated Castle Ravenloft. You have met directly Lord Strahd von Zarovich, wrong name. You have made it back out again. You have whitewater rafted down a river while chased by all sorts of flying creatures and floodwaters. You have, for the most part, survived wolf and werewolf attack. You have dealt with witches and come to a parley or an arrangement. And you have succumbed to surgery. Well, some of you have at least. All in a little over 24 hours.
Should be fucked, yo.
And this is giving you the opportunity to level up to, what is this? Level 11. So, going around the table, Graham, what have you gained?
what's behind door number 11?
Improved Divine Smite.
Yeah,
So I
anything
can
else, or is 11 just a like a
I assume more hit points. That's it.
Fair enough.
Definitely something to be excited about there, Graham. It's palpable. It's just pouring off you.
A permanent D8 extra damage is decent, yeah.
That is not to be sneezed at.
Yeah. I mean,
Ross,
I'm always going to
wait,
roll a
hi.
1, but, you know.
Hi, I'm Ross. What's going on? What do you
What did Wick gain?
Wick gained an ability called Reliable Talent, which means that for abilities that I am proficient in, and he is proficient in many, he can no longer roll lower than a 10, which is Baller as Flip.
As Flip.
Also, I gained another sneak attack damage die, which takes it up to d6, and my maximum hit points are 69.
Oh, dang!
Nice.
Bo-bo-bo-bo-bo-bo! Ham on, ham on, hand on. Mitch, Narlag.
So Narlag hasn't really gotten much from this level up, but he has got access to 6 level spells now.
Oh, haven't got much. Haven't got much. We've just got the ability to like shape and mold the universe within his own hands. Yeah, like not much at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
We got Graham with a good D8 extra damage to his thing. Wick can never be bad at things.
And
Mitch is a god.
The one spell I decided to pick up, which is actually really fucking good right now, is Sunbeam. I get to shoot.
I'd hate to be a vampire right now. You think we're gonna
I'm just gonna turn my headphones down slightly.
You think we're gonna fight any vampires now?
We might fight one or two, I reckon. Like
They don't
over the
seem
course of this
interested.
entire campaign. Sorry, what'd you say?
They don't seem that interested.
No, they
not
don't.
interested
They
in
don't seem
fighting.
that interested at all.
Sorry, Ryan, that tickled me.
So basically, what we've got is Ulrich, who has an amulet that creates sunlight. Wick that has a sword that creates sunlight, and Mitch that just creates sunlight in the palm of his hands.
Has a butthole that creates sunlight.
Oh my god, he does the butthole like sunbathing thing that just gets your anus fucking sunburnt.
What are you talking about?
Did you not hear about that one? It's like it's a meme from last year. Keep up.
Oh,
Like a whole bunch of like health
Yeah,
people were
no,
like
I
literally
heard of
turning their
people-
butts up to the sun to get better vitamin D absorption through
I heard of people
the
doing that. Isn't that how Josh Brolin? What happened to him?
sunburned his ass. Yes.
Yeah. Or no, it wasn't his ass. It was his taint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
One
whole
second.
region.
One
The region
second.
that doesn't. You googling this?
See, I thought you were going for.
It's real. It's fucking real.
Yeah.
Welcome to last year, before we had viruses roaming the streets.
What?
I think
Ah!
at this point, sunlight going in through your butthole is what the president recommends.
No, he didn't. Well, he did only just say injecting it. He didn't say necessarily like intravenously.
Yeah, could be a suppository.
Yeah,
Like
a good sun suppository.
A good bit of vitamin D.
Suppository. I get it. Like penises.
Yes.
Yes. So this is good. This is a productive session.
Hey, we taught Mitch something new.
Hey, you
Yeah,
found out that
yeah.
Thanos had his butt wrecked by someone other than Ant-Man. You guys awake in the morning, nicely rested.
Oh, nothing
The
attacked
first-
us during the night. Awesome.
Well,
For the
no,
first time-
we're in Mordenkainen's mansion now.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean nothing won't attack us during
That's
the
a
night.
good point, actually. Yeah.
You have probably had the best night's sleep you guys have had in some time.
Since getting to Barovia.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Because even when sleeping, a full night's sleep in Barovia, like, you still just have this pressing dread that just exudes through the land. Just gets in everything. Even your unconscious state, your dreams and everything. It's just, they're not evil or so, they're just gloomy. They've got a real sort of sadder twist to them. This, however, has been quite pleasant. In fact, Wick, this has been quite an abnormal night's sleep for you, because you have been in Barovia your entire life, and your dreams have been sad.
Well, he can also sleep competently now because of that skill.
He rolled a 10 on sleeping.
I rolled at least a 10 on my sleeping.
Yeah.
One other thing, Wick, as part of your level up. Unfortunately, Ulrich, you already have this, but you, Wick, are now proficient in medicine.
Hell yeah. How did that happen?
You were a surgery assistant,
Oh. Oh. Cool.
but unfortunately,
So
Ulrich
we just
already
need to
had
go
that-
around
had
mutilating
that
people,
proficiency.
and that's how we get good
Never
at
gonna
surgery.
roll less than a 16 on medicine now.
And that was how I lost my medical license.
Good timing on that one. Very good timing.
Why can't
Is that from the
that
meet?
be Narlag's voice?
Is that from the Meet the
Yeah.
Medic video?
It was from the
Yeah, I love that video so much. Anywho, you guys awake. You notice that on the inside of the door, just sitting up on a little sort of like a wheeled trolley, is a platter filled with a breakfast of your own desire, essentially. So what you would normally enjoy for breakfast is laid out on this tray, which Ulrich is what?
Just lots of food.
Lots of food.
His own weight in
Are we
food.
talking like a real greasy cook up? Like, it's like bacon on bacon on bacon on sausages, and then
Actually, it's
like,
probably his own weight in
spooned
chicken.
over baked beans over the top, and then like 6 dozen eggs.
Ooh, that actually sounds really good. I was just thinking like his own weight in chicken kind of thing.
Oh yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this place.
At least I got chicken.
At least you got chicken. Wick, what is Wick's breakfast of choice?
I think there would be like 2 bowls or 2 plates there. One having like a regular human plate with like some kind of sausage, like a wurst, some
Yeah,
kind of
bird seed.
traditional
Some-
wurst,
Some sort of
And then-
bloodwurst.
and then the other one is like a little mound of worms.
Mealworms.
Worms, yep.
Uh,
I get to choose. Cool.
there you go. Narlag.
Nala gets scones.
You
And
motherfucker.
and
Can
yogurt.
you get scones instead? Can you just get scones? No scones for him.
It's scones and Cool Whip. No, I'm not going to do this.
Cool Whip.
Really though, like Nala gets just like a nice homemade scone and like a glass of tea, a mug of tea, I should say.
Ah, mug of tea. Ah, you're the classy individual that just needs that slight bit more tea in the morning. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're just trying to slam a little bit more caffeine in the least efficient way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Each individually sort of dive into your respective breakfasts, and they're basically, even though you're pretty certain they've been sitting there for a little bit now, they feel like they are fresh out of the kitchen, like literally like from kitchen to table, straight off.
Probably
You
wouldn't
are
notice.
refreshed, well fed, and ready to face the morning. Narlag, you are greeted with a knock at your door.
What did you say, Greg?
Oh, sorry, you said something. I was wondering what you said.
Yeah, like you said, like the ending half of a sentence, and I wanted to know what it was.
Oh, I think my internet's running a bit shitty at the moment. Oh, I just said I probably wouldn't notice how good just eat.
Oh, how good the food was.
Oh,
He was just like,
right.
oh, sustenance. Rom, rom, rom. You know, that's a real military man thing. It's like, it's grub time. I eat, and then I'm out.
Rom.
It's very. There's a lot of similarities between military people and people that have been in prison for a long time.
Are you saying I've been in prison?
No, I'm just saying the way they deal with mealtime. It's like, it is time to eat. I'm eating, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Well, it's why most, well, especially in America, half of their criminals get told to just join the army.
Because no one else will give them a job because that system is broken. Anyway, Mitch, Nalag, you are greeted with a knock at your door. It's just like 3 quick raps.
Having had enough time to actually rest and recuperate and meditate on everything that's changed with him, he's actually looking like Narlag now.
Yep. So back to the hobgoblin form. Hobgoblin form, and you've actually found that inside your just hanging on the door of the wardrobe there was a suit bag.
Fair enough.
And then sitting inside was a silk 3-piece suit in a similar colorings, but not quite the same colorings as you had before.
Bitchin'. Narlag puts it on, and obviously his cane is there, so he's ready for a day. He's ready for a day. Finally, after all of his clothes getting destroyed and nearly dying 15 times.
I think 15 is not even that much of an exaggeration.
And then actually
it was a lot of times.
And then actually dying one time. He's had
you got
a day and a... He's had an actual day and a half.
One. That's the one.
And, yeah, it's just like... Come on in.
The door opens up, and the first thing you hear is just the scurrying of claws across wooden floors as Alphonse scurries into the room and just does the ferret war dance thing, just bouncing around all over the place because it is the most aggressive yet adorable thing you can ever see.
Best.
It is the best, and Mordekainen strides in after him, being his Mordekainen best.
More Mordenkainen than Mordenkainen.
Yeah.
You're terrible, and I hate you.
It's sort of extra Kainen. Yeah.
No.
I'm getting a no from Ross. I'm getting a no from Graham. Apparently, my jokes are not going to land tonight.
They're being rerouted through O'Hare.
Fair. One kind of like, good morning. Well rested, I see.
Why, yes, thank you very much for this lovely suit as well.
You seem much more yourself now.
I feel much more myself. I was quite exhausted after last night.
I could tell you were struggling to maintain form.
Yes, I believe I should be able to basically take on any form as required now.
I see even your stitches and wounds are healing, and the scarring should be minimal.
Oh, I don't really get scarring to begin with, but it'll take some time to fully heal. Yes.
You cast a glance over to a sort of a full height mirror that's in the room, and you can actually see you've got the white line of a scar running down sort of jawline to top of sternum. It is definitely a faint scar, but there is a scar, that's an odd one for you, because changelings don't normally scar, because it's just something they can, there's an injury. Once it's sort of healed, they can just sort of change it back out again. This is still there.
I mean, it's probably still healing, I would say. I mean, that's the kind of thing that would take a good, month or two at least to get.
Yeah. Are you saying that just a single long rest is not enough to heal all wounds? Mechanically, it is.
Mechanically, it can do anything.
Mechanically, apparently, you can regrow limbs and eyes. No, you can't actually do it.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the things I actually can't.
It's one of the things I specifically call out that you can't do.
Yeah.
But yeah. The one torn out of you might leave a mark on from his exit, so you might find you have somewhat of a lasting memory of him.
You mean aside from the near decade of mental torture on a nightly basis?
I'm referring to the more physical markings. And he's
Darn.
just sort of like,
Gosh darn it to heck.
that was sure a series of curses that were almost a curse.
He's being polite.
He is.
He's in a good mood.
He is in a good mood and in polite company. What can I say? And how are you feeling other than that? Rejuvenated? Are you feeling somewhat... How are you feeling in comparison to the last decade?
Relatively okay. Everything's a little bit more colourful, and I have to say that scone was quite delicious.
I have a talented kitchen crew.
It's far better than any scone I've had before.
I'll have to pass my compliments on to pass your compliments on to them. That I couldn't tell you how they do it. They're just wizards in the kitchen.
Ha ha ha!
Thank
That
you,
was
Ross.
that was a terrible joke you have there.
Ouch.
I'm not gonna berate you for it. It was a pun. I never expected Mordenkainen, great wizard of the worlds, to use a pun.
I'm normally quite literal with my wording.
You don't say.
If you don't mind following me, we have to test your new capacities.
Experiments to run.
Oh no, we have to juice you again. No, that's not happening again. I can only do that once.
Yeah. Is today the day of the big battle?
That was the plan, yes.
Okay. I'm not saying we shouldn't. I just want to make sure before I do one of my new things because of the new subclass that it is. Because it's like you have a certain thing for a certain amount of hours, so I want to line it up so it's not gonna,
Don't worry, anything that happens now is not going to affect what happens later. Alright, Mordecai sort of signals for you to follow, and he leads you outside of the room and down the hallway to another chamber that's basically leading down into basically like a large set of stone stairs that lead downwards. So, you sort of hear him just sort of pacing forward, and as he moves down, like lanterns ahead just sort of like light up as he approaches, just like catch flame and light the path further ahead. And eventually ends up into a larger, faced with a set of like gilded double doors. Pushing them open, you essentially see something like a dojo. There is just like an open space with softish mats laid out on the floor. Several sort of pillars with various different like targeting dummies and training gear attached to them. It's basically it's a training room.
All right. This looks like it has a certain purpose. This room.
Yeah, of course it's a training room. I don't know what else to call it. It's a room where you train. It's a training room. The advantage of this space is, as soon as I shut those doors, technically speaking, times. We're in.
Is this a hyperbolic time chamber? Are we doing a fucking time chamber?
It is possible
I just-
in this realm because he can change the time, like the time to be small. Oh, at least you could in third ed. I actually don't know if you did that.
10 times
more
the
than
gravity.
It's
Yeah.
it's Mordenkainen, and he do whatever the fuck he want.
Yeah,
But yeah, essentially, this is outside of time. Yes, it's a fucking hyper. Yeah, it is that thing. You can basically flex your muscles to the extent that you can to test your capacity, and it doesn't count.
so this is going to take
Tears own biceps.
10 episodes for you to power up.
Look, if this takes more than a couple of minutes, or like 10 minutes, it's already gone too long. But yeah, and he sort of signals you in and like, show me what you've got, as he shuts the doors behind him.
Show me what you got.
There we go.
Like,
I want to see what you got.
no, like just like fuck. Gotta look at my spells now.
Yes, you do.
Pants.
Like, goes, all right. Well, obviously we'd need to start small and build up. Does a little bit of stretching and then, like, he's had enough time to just go through all of the cantrips, etc. So he just goes through all of them. You know, control flames, minor illusion, shaping water. He can mold earth now. I think he's like one cantrip short of being the Avatar.
Yep.
I can look like the
Very
Avatar.
naughty boy. Yeah. I did it. I did it.
You broke the quota.
I did it.
He didn't break the quota. He met the quota.
No, we've already had one.
What?
Yeah, I did one earlier.
Yeah, he did.
What was
Said
that?
you got better.
Oh, right, yeah.
After you basically flick through your cantrips, all of a sudden the lights go out in the room. Just like it is, just every single light, just like every single torch, just sputters out of life, and you are left in darkness.
You feel some hands on your pants.
Oh boy!
I'm assuming...
And just ever so softly, Barry White starts playing. No. Moving on. Not making this weird.
Malak goes, you're still there?
Oh, of course. Can you not see me yet?
Not yet. And he casts Dark Vision on himself.
There we go. So I'm just going to go through as a...
Wasn't that a natural ability of yours?
No, that was a Warlock
Oh.
thing.
Oh, wait, that was your last character, I think.
Yeah.
No, the
No.
Warlock had a...
No, wait, someone could say... Oh, I don't remember anymore.
It was a warlock thing.
Yeah, it was a Warlock thing that I had. So yeah, he now has Dark Vision. Like he sort of puts his hands over his eyes and then just sort of like, you know, you see a slight glow come out of the fingertips and then his eyes all of a sudden start glowing a little bit and yeah, he's like, alright, I see everything pretty damn well.
So you see Mordecai sort of just standing across the room from you. He's sort of standing there with staff in one hand, just sort of slightly in front of him, holding it. This is a stance you've seen before. This is one of dual challenge. And he sort of
Alright.
he bows his head slightly.
Narlag does the same.
And Ryan has to pull up Mordekainen's stats.
It's like when Goku goes up to that machine to test his strength and he, like, flicks it.
Yeah, so you see Mordekainen standing there in his wizardly robes that are very well sort of cut and tailored to his taller shape, and just sort of bowing slightly at you in a basically in a challenge of duel.
Narlag bows in turn.
And then Mordecai sort of basically takes a battle stance.
Narlag just does his dandy pose because, you know, he's never had to take a real battle pose. assuming, Mordenkainen being who he is, who's actually developed spells to, like, I'm a wizard, but I have a sword now, actually knows how to do that kind of thing.
Alright. Roll initiative, please.
Oh, goody, I'm dead. I'm dead! I got a 6.
You're just training, dude. It's gonna be fine.
Actually, just
I'm sure he's chosen all non-lethal spells.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. You see him just sort of like flash his hands out sideways, and a series of images of himself just like shimmer into existence either side of him.
Narlag casts Detect Magic.
Magic.
So I assume now he can also see which one is the fake. Well, which one is the real one, because it's not shimmering. And magic.
It still is.
Not as magic.
You can see every single one of them is shimmering with magic. Equally.
So they're all illusions.
Or one of them is casting it. Detect magic's not one of the things that you can see through mirror image.
Oh, bitch.
Maybe Mordekainen's always just been a reflection of, or an illusion.
Maybe the magic was inside us all along. Maybe
knowledge was the
maybe Mordenkainen was the friends we made along the way.
No.
Knowledge was his gift. Gift was his.
It was beauty that killed the Mordenkainen.
But yeah, I believe detect magic is an action.
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay. He sort of holds his left hand out, and then just sort of like starts like he's petting something that's in his hand that's invisible. And you feel your whole form start to like try to twist and morph and change. If you can give me a wisdom saving throw.
So that was a 16 plus a 5? 21?
Ooh, okay. You sort of feel like your arms get sort of like furrier and start to sort of shrink into your form, and then you sort of shake it off. Like, okay. Your move.
I mean, that's not even supposed to be able to be workable on shapeshifters, is it?
True.
Goddamn powerful ass wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Evard's black tentacles. At least I think he does. I need to look up what that spell does.
Certainly do.
Oh yeah, no, because I've got like a couple of tentacle spells, and one of them is like it does it on yourself, and like you have tentacle arms now, and another one is like no, they go on a space that you want them to.
That's
I do. Arms of Hadar is on yourself, and Evard's black tentacles is not on yourself. There's also Hunger of Hadar.
Evard's. Sorry.
Bess.
Okay.
Evard's black.
What is your save?
16.
Oh, no. That dice is gone. You see these tentacles sort of like creeping up out of the ground and start sort of trying to wrap around his ankles.
Actually, I probably should have said how Narlag does that. He pulls out a little octopus octopus tentacles and just like chews on it for a bit, and then like pushes his arms forward as if he was like trying to make a wave. In a pool.
Yum-o. Yum-o.
Tasty.
That's not a... Ooh, clever move, because that's not a targeting spot. Alright, yeah, so... each of these images, you can see sort of the tentacles sort of lashing up out of the ground and starting to try and grip at their legs and ankles and sort of lower torso. They each sort of like almost like in like lockstep shake these things off and take a step or two backwards.
All right. Are they still in the tentacles completely, or?
I believe they're still in the space. Well, it's not.
Oh
their
yeah,
turn.
Fair point.
Okay. Ooh, what does this do? Ooh, this looks like fun.
I mean, this just sounds like a fight until someone fucks up their saving throw, really.
Pretty much.
You see him just start to, like, moving his hands in sort of a swirling motion in front of him, and you see like ice forming in sort of the negative space between his two hands. Is like crystallizing into a larger form, and then he's just sort of
started the turn in the tentacles.
Yes.
All right. He takes 3d6 damage. That is 10 damage of bludgeoning.
All right.
Oh, no, wait, sorry. It's a creature that starts the turn in the area and is already restrained. My bad.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, he's forming this, and then once it's got like basically like a head-size like snowball, he with his right hand just like punches through it, and it blasts out in a cone towards you, casting Cone of Cold.
Oh no, that's a strong spell.
Which you have strong counters to.
Well, yes, I do.
A sweater.
Would you like to cast Counterspell?
Nah,
No?
not yet.
Not yet?
I've got resistance to cold anyway.
Okay. That is a con save.
Again, I'm good at that.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. So that was another 21.
Boo earns.
Are you saying boo or boo earns?
And yeah, this blast sort of washes past you, and you sort of shrug it off, and then at one point, like brushing a bit of snow off the tops of your jacket. He's like, at some point, are you going to try and do something? This is a training room, not an exercise in just standing there.
Doing nothing. Now I'm like, all right. I've actually been practicing this one. Mostly.
When?
Well, on a smaller scale. I have to learn my spells.
I'm going to
And
call you on this bullshit.
like, okay,
Sorry.
but shut up.
You've been asleep or in surgery or in a room. When have you practiced any of these spells? In your mind space.
Yes, in his mind space. He gets weird ass dreams even when he's not in fucking, murder death land. He's got a touched mind, therefore he does shit.
Yep. Alright. What do you got?
He casts. He's like, fuck this noise. I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast fucking Sunbeam at him. He's a vampire. Don't care. He getting the Sunbeam in his face.
So he's Trump.
Narlag pulls out a magnifying glass and holds it just in the middle of his head, and out of there pops a third eye, and it just goes starts glowing, and then pew, straight
Is
into.
that how your spell works?
That is how the spell works.
Okay. He sees that, his eyes sort of widen slightly, and like you've got his attention. He knows what's going on here. And as the sort of the light starts to sort of brighten at your forehead, he waves a hand sort of downwards. And
Is he casting counterspell?
he is casting counterspell.
I counter his counterspell.
He counters your counters.
You can't do that.
I can't. Okay. I suppose I'm making a save now then.
You're making a Constitution saving throw, and wizards are not good at that.
Especially when I roll really low. Okay.
I mean, he fell down a cliff. He's probably got a decent
May have bonked his
constitution.
head and got a bit of a boo-boo. He has a band-aid on his forehead for a little while. Okay. You see him sort of wipe this down. He sees you see him sort of like wipe downwards to try and counter this spell, and when he spots you have done a similar motion, and the magic that had formed around his hand have been cancelled out, his eyes sort of widen in a look of like surprise and actually like a little bit of concern for his well-being as Sunbeam rolls over him. You roll your damage.
Get my D8s.
8s, plural.
Yes. 6d8. This doth be a strong spell, motherfucker.
It's like a 6, isn't it?
This could also be the formerly the pile of ashes formerly known as Mordekainen.
Yeah, if you kill Mordekainen, that'd be hilarious.
I've lost a D8. Oh, I'll just roll one again. Alright. So 5, 8, 5. So that's 18 and 22 damage. Radiant, and he's blinded if he failed the save. He takes half if he succeeded.
All right, he has taken a bunch of damage.
Yay.
Do I know if he succeeded?
You know that this is hit in full whack.
Alright. Narlag moves like 15 feet to the left.
Stealthily?
I can't really take the action of hide, but like if Narlag can do it as quietly as possible. Because he's blinded now, so...
How long does the blind last for?
Until my next turn.
Okay. You see him just like standing there, like holding a hand to his eyes, just like over the top of his eyes. Just like you can tell that he is blinded by this. And that is not. That is not cool. You see him.
Are there still multiples of him?
Yes.
Okay.
Because none of the things you've done so far have been targeting, I don't believe. Sunbeam is an AoE as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Cone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a straight line.
It's a 60-foot line of sunlight just explodes from my brain.
You see him sort of like covering his eyes with his right hand, holds his left hand out, and just like holds it like he's like a traffic controller, like showing like stop, and a large spectral looking hand appears in front and just like lands like a wall between you and him.
Okay.
Is
Can I roll Arcana? Like, would it take an action for me to like roll Arcana and
Look,
go like, what is this thing?
roll it? Yeah, that's fine. This is a training space. You're meant to learn.
You're never gonna guess what I rolled.
3.
No, I rolled a 1. I have
that's a big hand.
no fucking idea.
Or you know
That's
exactly
big.
what it
That's
is.
a big hand. That's a big hand. That could give you a big old crisp high five.
Alright, so he's now no longer blinded, is he? If it's
That's
my turn.
correct. You said until your next turn.
Yep. So, I'll like shouts out, high five! And then, like, sort of goes over.
And then runs into it.
I would like to say that he does that. I'd like to say that if at all possible, he runs past it and does give it a high five and then does another sunbeam at Mordenkainen.
Good.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Also, this isn't actually classed as part of the spell casting. This is an action that is part of the spell. So, not like... Yeah, like, it's... Because it's a concentration spell, it's... The spell lasts for 1 minute and I could just get to do a sunbeam every turn while it's active.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So I make another beam of radiant light right at his face.
I get a save again, correct?
Yes.
Sunbeam. That is a fucking ball of spell.
I know, right? We all got fucking anti-undead stuff right now.
Hachi alright.
Strahd is gonna have a bitch of a time trying
This time he definitely saves.
Okay. Whoop. Okay. Yeah! I got one die that just won't cooperate. Alright.
Right, I rescued my one from the pit of no return.
So that is 4, 6, so it's 10, 8, it's 18, 5, and then I gotta roll another one. 7.
If you kill
Which is how much?
Mordenkainen, it's going to be fine.
Hey, don't kill Mordenkainen. He's sort of... This is the next bit of the plan. He's sort of integral to it.
So
What happens to us if we're in his pocket dimension and he dies?
That's a good question. What does happen to them? He takes...
Let's find out, shall we?
He takes, 25 halved, and he doesn't get blinded for the turn.
Okay. You see him, he's sort of looking at you, and just reaches in and pulls a small pocket watch out of the inside of his robes, and just like dangling it on the end of a chain, so like a fob watch sort of style thing. It's like swings it backwards and forwards like a pendulum, and then you see it sort of like he's still swinging it at a full pace, but it looks like it's slowing down and shifting in time as it.
Counterspell!
You got to roll the ever living fuck out of that one.
What?
That's a roll because it's well and truly over 3rd level.
Oh, okay. So...
DC.
Hmm?
Yeah.
How does counterspell work? I forget. I have to...
The DC is 10
Cast
plus
while
the
you're
spell's
doing a
level.
concentration spell?
10 plus the level. I got a 12. Oh, no, plus...
12 total. Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability.
Spellcasting ability, so that makes it a 20, I think? No, that's my spell attack bonus. Spellcasting ability. It'll be plus my con... Sorry, plus my charisma. So it's 16.
You see this watch still sort of like slowing down and fading, and you see like the entire world around you just sort of like slow down and then freeze. You can even see like a little bit like because it's cool down here in this basement, a little bit like the condensation on your breath or the fog on your breath like stops and like freezes in place in front of you.
Especially after that cone of cold.
Yeah.
Clearly hasted you.
Ooh, okay.
What does the hand do?
The hand is completely stationary, as far as you can tell.
Or is it?
Ulrich and Wick. You both hear a sort of bell, like kind of like a dinner bell or a summoning bell, basically. That sort of chimes in your room,
Bing
and
bong.
then
I like
this is
that sound effect you did.
it wasn't bad, was it? It was just something hitting the railings outside.
Oh, okay.
But it's more like a little
Bing bong.
bing bong, and then you hear it like that.
Oi, it's 12 bong.
Bingily bingily beep.
It's like, good morning, guests. If anyone would like to know, the master of the mansion is currently engaged in a friendly joust with one Narlag. Was it von Proust? Von Varg. Von Varg.
Yes.
Von Varg? Von Varg.
Von Varg.
Von Varg.
Who's that?
If you anyone willing or wanting to watch this training session can simply step outside of their room and they will be put into the audience.
Yeah, sure, why not? I need a laugh.
Wick does that.
Okay. You both basically like open up your door and take one step. You're looking outside, and there is just a hallway. It's the same hallway you saw as you went in. As soon as you step past the threshold, you are in just a tiered seating arrangement, looking down at a square like tournament space filled with kind of like a gladiatorial space filled with all sorts of different like training equipment and weaponry, and on one side you see Narlag, the other side you see Mordenkainen. You see Mordenkainens, plural. In front of Mordenkainen there is this large sort of ethereal hand standing up like a 6-foot high wall, and you see Mordenkainen just pulling this watch out of his hand and just sort of like swinging in front of Narlag, and Narlag just sort of stops still.
Most importantly, is there a hot dog vendor? Or a popcorn
You know
vendor?
what? Let's see what happens.
You just had breakfast.
Yeah, but you've got to have
It's time for
something.
second breakfast, and then 11sies.
You literally just had breakfast.
You've got to have something to eat while you're watching, like I'm using like arena fight.
But you see Narlag basically, essentially, like frozen in place, just not moving. You can't even sort of see any like evidence of him breathing. He is no blinking, nothing, not moving at all.
Cool.
Deep in concentration.
And then Mordenkainen just sort of steps around from the hand, and just sort of walks around behind Narlag. Then signals for the hand to sort of lifts his hand up into the air. Where is that spell?
All the Mordenkainens do this, or just one of them?
All of them. They're all sort of doing it in like a sweeping movement. Thank you for that one. And this is done as a little series. One of them walks around and holds the hand up and like grips at something, and this large spectral hand then just sort of pulls itself out of the ground, goes up to Narlag and grabs hold of them.
Damn.
Another one walks the similar sort of direction. They're all sort of walking clockwise around you. Another one, holding their fist up, just like slams it down towards the ground, and you see Narlag in this form like lifted up, and the hand turns upside down and just slams him down into those like rice woven mats in the dojo section. Let's give you.
Yeah, fuck him up. Woo!
Damn, he's concentrating on 2 spells at once.
What's the other one?
Isn't the big hand spell a concentration?
Oh, so what's the other one?
Slow? Or paralysis or whatever he did to me?
You know what? I better check to make sure the other one's not. No, the other spell he's cast is not a concentration spell.
Oh, dip. Oh, dip.
So 16 bludgeoning damage.
And a concentration check. Which is a, 22, so I'll probably pass that.
Yeah, you'll be fine then. Where is it?
If you fuck this one up, I'm not bringing you back to life.
You see a third Mordenkainen image, then sort of like do a throwing shape as you see the large hand just launch Narlag, then yeet him into a wall. He goes slamming through one of the pillars, which is like snaps in half in a like a shower of dust and wooden shards, and then he slams into a
Jesus,
into
he's
a wall
just
and
had
bounces flat.
surgery. This is not the time to be yeeting him into a wall.
You asked for it.
That's another 15 points.
Ow.
And you see sort of Narlag at this point just sort of sit up and like shake his head. Narlag, time seems to catch back up to you, and you are not where you were. You're no longer sort of standing in front of Mordenkainen with this imposing hand between you. You are now on your side, about 20 feet away, feeling like you have been run over by at least 3 different carriages simultaneously.
Well, that was most assuredly not very nice.
For the record, the spell that he cast was Time Stop.
I thought it might be.
It is a 9th level spell.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
He is...
And I rolled real low on the number of turns I got.
Ah, thank fuck for that. Like sort of does like that neck crack thing after you get hurt real bad.
Mordecai's like, how are you doing there, lads?
Well, I gotta say that felt a little bit unfair.
You had your chance to try and stop it. Just had to try a bit harder.
That's definitely true. Definitely true. So,
Ulrich, you feel like a tap on your shoulder. And you turn, as you sort of turn around, your dreams and desires have been met by a servant of the mansion, serving you a single hot dog on a silver platter.
Oh yeah.
Now, like,
he casts Dispel Magic on the hand.
Mm-hmm.
As a bonus action, because he's quickening the spell, I should say. So he sort of shakes off a little bit, just sort of, brings his arm in real quick, and then just like quick flash of the hand, and then.
So at what level are you doing this?
I'm actually going to check what level my Dispel Magic is.
It starts off at 3 and then goes higher.
Yeah, I mean, like, it'd be 3rd level. He doesn't know what level that spell is, like, unless he knows what it is.
Roll, please.
So that was a 16 as my default.
You see the hand just sort of like shimmer out of existence.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Big hands are not very fun. Anyway,
That one there is that one there was created by a friend of mine by the name of Bigby.
Bigby.
Yes.
All right.
Quite a showy chap, that one.
All righty.
I'm quite a fan.
Why don't you start clapping for it?
Ha. What's your move now?
I think we both know what it is.
Oh yeah, it's on Sunday,
Yes, it's another sunbeam in the face.
right?
So it's
What was the DC again? 16 something.
yeah, 16 Constitution.
He passes.
Bugger.
He's like, that blasted spell.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, if only I thought of using this one.
So that is 20, 27, 30 damage total. Halved.
Then halved.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm actually rolling really well on the dice right now. Fucking 9th level spell, motherfucker.
Yeah, at that point you may as well just cast Wish or something similar.
Not even, like, fucking true polymorph. Just turn into a fucking gold dragon and eat my head. Easiest way to kill anything. I'm a fucking dragon now. Fuck you. What's that? You want to hit me? Nah. I'm a dragon. I'm gonna be in the air. Breathing fire on your face. Because I'm a dragon.
In a small enclosed room.
It's his training dojo. He can make it whatever the fuck he wants. It can be like an infinite plane where it's just all able to put you on fire all the time, except for him. Because he's magic and shit. Bastard.
Okay, at this point he's like, now this one, I want you to try and stop this one, and he throws his own hand forwards, and that same Bigby's hands like blast forward out of his hand, but this one is flying at you like some sort of like, well, I guess it's a little bit Green Lantern punchish.
Oh, goody. What do I know of Bigby's hand? Now that he's actually said what it is, what do I know of it?
It's definitely a slightly higher spell than just say Mage Hand.
Okay.
There's a
counter at...
There we go.
Fuck, counter at 5th level. I've only got 1 6th level, but fuck, I'll counter it at the max that I can.
You see this thing like racing towards you at a frightening pace, and just as it reaches towards you, you sort of wave your hand across the space, and this thing just like washes over you painlessly.
Yay!
Yay!
Gives him a back massage and then leaves.
There you go, buddy. Bye. And he's just, you see Mordecai just as the hand fades away. You just see him on the other side, just like clapping at you. You might survive this after all. Give me one more good shot with that sunbeam. Let's see what you've got there.
Quicken. Shoot him with 2 Eldritch Blast.
Uh-huh.
So that was a 7 plus 8 against his AC. So I think that's 15. No, that's not 15.
That's
Oh, that is 15.
That
Alright,
is 15.
so does that hit?
is 15, yes.
It does not.
Bugger. Ooh! So that's good. The other one was a 20.
Okay.
Yep,
That one hits.
good. And it does 9 damage. And then he does another, Sparky Boom Man shot from his forehead. Oh, come on. You can't tell me you've never seen Avatar, Grey.
Oh,
I've
what,
not.
Sorry?
Avatar The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
You've not seen it?
I have. But yeah,
I've
I
not
have.
seen it. I need to watch it.
Oh, wait,
Sparky
yeah,
Boom Man.
yeah, no, I do vaguely remember that now, yeah. It's been a while.
Wow.
'Cause, yeah, he never actually talked.
No, he never said anything, but he got taken out like a punk, which is Narlag's whole deal, really. And he shot,
Well, I mean,
he
it's-
basically shot lasers from his eye. His third eye, I should say.
His third eye,
He's saying
yeah.
you got Yumchard.
Yeah.
It was T-end.
Yeah, Tien.
Okay. You see this this sunbeam sort of wash back over him again, taking the full brunt of the blast. Don't worry about rolling the damage, because at this point here it sort of washes over him, and he's just like rubbing his eyes, just like holding his hands up, like that's good. It's good.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
And he's just sort of like rubbing his eyes and like blinking slightly as his vision comes back. He's basically being flashbanged. And he's like, oh, and sort of waves his hands down, and like the lights drops. So the lights come back on. And you can see, where there was just walls before, you can now just see like these couple of like tiered bleachers essentially off to each side of it, and on one side you can see Ulrich and Wick sitting in the crowd, just sort of
Slow
watching
clapping.
you.
Woo! Yeah! Woo!
Y'all were watching that?
Slow clapping. Yeah.
Ulrich with his one hand has got a hot dog, just like slamming that into his face, and just like clapping against the back of his hand.
I like the bit where you cast spells at each other.
Don't be shitty.
Thanks, Ulrich. It was lovely to know y'all were watching me. How long were you watching all of that?
Timelines wise, it's from slightly before the time stop spell was cast, so not that long. But the whole thing was only like a minute.
Okay.
It was a wizard battle. Those things are short and sweet. Neither of you are particularly fucking robust in the constitution and hit points states.
I am. I got like 80 hit points.
Decent.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Wick.
But yeah, no, Wick has got the winning number.
That's true.
Ba 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 ba. Sex number. But no, you be a minute minute and a half tops.
Oh, like, yeah, no.
Including like the talking between rounds of attacks. Yeah, it's been
Enough time to shove 2 or 3 hot dogs down my face.
Where does it all go?
No, we know where it all
He
goes.
dips them in water first.
We know where it all goes.
Yep.
We have to fucking clean it with our prestidigitation every single fucking day.
This weed
Gross.
business.
Wick doesn't cast spells.
At least not yet. He might secretly be magic. We don't know.
Nah. that ain't me.
No.
I mean, like,
Hello.
he's a weird magic crow person. He might be secretly extra magic.
That's not magic. I just a crow sometimes, aren't I?
Just a crow sometimes.
Or raven. It's not a crow. It's a raven thing.
It's a crow.
No, it's not.
They're similar but distinct different varieties of corvid.
Yeah. It's not magic. It's just a thing.
Distinct varieties of COVID-19.
Do we call your weird shape-shifting bizzo magic? No. It's just a weird thing you can do, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, you kind of call it magic.
Nah.
It's not though. That's biology, mate.
It's just the nature of the world, isn't it?
More like biology.
No, nothing like that.
Nah, nah. It's got nothing to do with stomach acids. I don't know what you mean.
That was terrible, but amazing, and I love it.
Mordecai just sort of like waves his hand like in a circle around his head, and the three of you are all sort of dropped into the meeting chamber that you guys were in before, like last night, into the war council room, and it's basically just you three and Mordecai. Morty. He's like, so, today's the day. And by the way, Nalag, you feel fine. For a guy that's been thrown around the room like a rag doll, you feel like you are as fresh as a daisy, like you were an hour ago when you first got up and started having your breakfast.
Undiminished magical potency.
What is that from?
That's just the thing I said.
Okay.
I can just say
He-
things, so I don't have to be from anything.
He got it from his brain where all his thoughts live.
I took it down off the shelf in me brain, dusted it off, and handed it off to me mouth to say out loud into the world.
Just lent it to him for a moment because these words are ethereal and fickle.
I was like, that's a boomerang, right? That's got to come back on the shelf in the brain parts, right?
That's terrible. You're terrible.
I love it. But yeah, Mordecai is just sort of sitting in his chair. You are all in your respective chairs, and he's just leaning forward, like, so.
I got my feet up on the chair next to me, by the way.
Of course you do. Today's the day. How we feeling about that? Because I'm going to put it out there. I'm more than a little scared.
I mean, it's
Oh,
fair enough.
I'm abjectly terrified, but I feel like, this is the moment, this is the one shot, the one opportunity. Mum's spaghetti, all that business.
There's vomit on your sweater. Somehow you got nauseous enough in between having breakfast, watching like the ending half of a wizard fight, and then suddenly being in the room. You had time to throw up.
He's like, righteous wizard battle. But he's just sitting there, like, you can see the worry on Mordecai's face. Like, he is, for a guy that's been sort of pretty put together the whole time. This is really, this has been wearing on him. You can tell that he's been pontificating on this one overnight.
Well, it's tough to face a guy who kicked your ass last time. So
Rightly so. It's been something I've been striving to forget for some time.
It's times like this when I remember an ancient changeling proverb.
Oh god.
You had your opportunity this run.
She'll be right, mate.
Thank you for not doing it in the really, really bad version of our accent.
What do you mean bad? It's amazing. It's the best way to put on an Australian accent is just to go full fucking Australian and just confuse the hell out of any foreigner.
Sure.
And
Okay.
some of the locals, I should say.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that. Mordecai is just sort of there. And if you guys are not like 100% on this, I will not fault you if you, I don't know, pull out early on this one. Like just halt the whole process, and just because that will save lives.
Nah.
short term.
You got it all backwards, didn't you? It's like not doing this is going to doom everybody. It's not about like let's back out and save lives. It's like no, we got to do this, otherwise people are going to die. You got it twisted, mate. It's not about us. It's about like everybody, right?
Definitely, but this is a decision that you three are the ones leading this. This is your charge. Everyone else is following you. So you have to be prepared for the whole responsibility that entails. You will be glorious in victory, but responsible in defeat.
As it should be.
I didn't think I would be getting much argument from you, Ulrich.
I got
You
chicken.
seem one
I'm good.
familiar with the ethics of the battleground.
Just a little.
Sorry, just waiting for Mitch to get back now.
Like I've always sort of considered myself something of a legendary thief in these parts, and I feel like what better than stealing the throne back from Strahd, right? That's got to count for something in the whole scheme of things. So, like, I feel like this is what I was sort of hatched to do, isn't it? I mean, born what?
Well done. You did that while Mitch was out of the room as well. He's also looking at you like, that's well said. I'm sorry. I've been in this position before. I have the fairly unique circumstance of having hindsight on this decision. So, yeah. Don't fault me for counseling caution.
Well, look, I mean, there's every possibility, right, that we're going to do this whole sneak into the castle, get all laying in wait for springing our trap and what have you, and then you and the assembled armies of Barovia just like pop him right there, and then we don't have anything to do we? So I feel like we've got the easier end of the stick. You're the ones that's gonna like be confronting him with full force and everything. I feel like we probably won't even have anything to do out of this. I think you and the witches and the militias and all that. I feel like it's just gonna.
Here's how I think things are going to go down. No, Mordecai is sort of counselling somewhat of caution and
It's being a big
basically
pussy.
making sure.
Really,
Well,
it's Mordecai being a big pussy.
Just to remember for a moment that there is a person behind Mordecai that's sitting in a room in his apartment that's feeling emotions right now.
Oh, poor baby.
Sounds like Ryan's being a big pussy too.
It sounds like it's not our fucking problem.
Sorry.
But Mordecai's like, okay, as long as you guys are 100% here and are trusting in me and my capacity, let's have the actual plan laid out, because I can coordinate things when you aren't there. I have my communications. I can be in many places at once. So, give me the breakdown.
Well,
I was actually about to start beatboxing badly.
Yeah, I know what you're
very
gonna do.
badly.
As 90% of people who beatbox do.
90% of people who try to beatbox.
I didn't stutter.
The plan is, we go into the castle, we find Strahd, we kill him.
all right, that's not the plan at all, and it's real good that we're going over it right now.
From my understanding, Strahd will be drawn out of the castle after me. And during that time, you guys will be sneaking in. I imagine at some point he is going to be wise to the fact that you three are not there.
Couldn't you sort of create some kind of illusory facsimile of us, sort of luring him into some kind of holy water bucket?
Just lure him into a bucket of holy water. Yep.
I mean, there's no such thing as there's no bad ideas in a brainstorming session. I don't really
Say it's diplomacy. Get him talking and say, look, as a gesture of peace, we've got this nice bath for you.
I mean, I can control water. If we have just a bucket of holy water, I can just, like, force it on his face. Without needing to throw it and get it everywhere.
We should definitely like get some water skins filled with holy water as part of our kit. That's a good note. That's a good note.
From my understanding, Blinsky has been working on this with Father Petrovic for a good day or so.
He's been...
Super soakers.
Oh, is that
Steam pumped super soakers.
Super soakers full of cat pee? No.
Holy cat pee.
What?
You just...
Why are you giving me that look?
You know exactly why I'm giving you that look.
Yeah, that'd be the
So
worst.
like, so you and the assembled forces sort of thing are going to be luring Strahd and whatever retinue he sort of has, luring him out into the field while he's gone. So like, sort of coordinating our time on that. Like, once we'll stay here in your sort of mansiony, with a wizardy Wayu friend, and then when you give the signal, once you've sort of got eyes on the vampire, like, he's gonna make the teleporty circle into the castle teleporty circle, and we'll go through there, and then we're gonna plan it out on the map and sort of figure out how we get from there to this throne room. We make our way there. Either you contact us to let us know if things have gone sideways with magic, or if we sort of get in position and we can do that, and like Narlag can let you know with his magic. I felt like that was sort of the plan, right?
Isn't that
Definitely,
what I just said?
Nah.
We go into the castle, we find Strahd, we kill him. That's exactly what you just said.
It's not though, right? There's like a lot of details, and he's not going to be there, and presumably he's going to find us, right? Because we're in his castle. I mean, we've got some little. I feel like it's going to have to be a little bit of a jazz sort of thing, because like we've got like Narlags transforming into Irina, and like we got the little switcho changeo with the sun sword. So it's like I don't really know that we can plot that side of it out, how that's gonna sort of go until we. I do like the idea of like putting forward the idea that Ulrich's got the sword and is gonna slay him, and then I can sort of sneak in behind him and sort of stab him in the back with it. That's like, I feel like that's gonna be a solid play. But we've got numerous sort of things. What were you? Is there more details that you guys were wanting to pin down in advance, sort of thing?
Well, from my understanding, your Taroka reading has a location for the final fight picked out for you. I think finding that space, because I believe if you try and find him anywhere else, well, that would be outside of this prophecy, and well, the results could be unclear.
Has he got the map of the castle up with his holographic screen thing that he had last time?
Give me 2 seconds. I will actually pop it up as a share screen.
As a share screen.
Can you see that?
Hey, stuff!
Okay.
So, where did we sort of figure out that... not figure out... Damn. Did we sort of figure out where the teleportation circle was going to take us?
I gotta remember where, because this is a slightly different layout to the map that I'd printed out before. I believe, if you can see my mouse,
Yep.
It's up in there.
His tower has a heart.
Is it a metaphorical or a literal heart?
So it's on.
Picture of a heart.
So it's at the base of the spire.
Base of the main spire.
Base of the main spire.
Where's this throne room?
His dark throne.
Yeah, because we probably want to beeline straight for the throne room, wouldn't we?
I would say we should probably. Actually, yeah, no, we probably could just beeline straight for the throne. Ooh. I just remembered I've got a magic thing.
A magic thing. You, the warlock
Always-
/ sorcerer,
always thinking
just
about-
realised you had a magic thing.
Always thinking about your dick, Mitch.
No, that's a magic thong.
Oh, right, cool. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I picked up that crown when we were back in Strahd's castle. Have I had time to learn what it is?
Oh, the one from
King.
like an iron crown.
Yeah, like King, whatever, like the metal album guy
Yeah.
of the Hell Beast something.
I got that mask off of the bride as well.
Did we find out if that was magic?
What was the wording of the fifth thing? It was the beast sits on his dark throne. Is that the one?
The beast sits on his dark throne.
All right, cool. Just making sure I'm looking at the right location.
So, probably maybe sort of a maroon. Maybe a navy throne. Maybe some kind of mossy green throne, perhaps.
I like the bit you're doing right now. I'm a big fan of the bit that you're doing right now. And if you permit me,
Maybe an indigo throne of some kind.
I'm just going to share that again. As we go into the space, like you guys are in the briefing room, and he's basically like, he's got the map there, and he's able to zoom in, zoom out, and everything like that on the information that you have. What you do have is
That's a throne.
Well, it's
a very nice throne.
So it sort of looks like it looks out over like the battlements, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So we pretty much got to go down from the spire and across to where that is largely.
Yeah.
Easy. Because there's a big bink, and then we're right there. I thought it was going to be having to haul ass halfway across the bloody mansion, but I think we're pretty close. Might even be able to bust out a window and sort of scale the outside, get down there. I say that.
Certainly an option.
I say that being somebody who's very comfortable busting out a window and scaling down there. I know that maybe you fellas aren't.
No, we're quite good at that now.
Did you get proficiency in that now too?
Yeah. That's what happens when you fall out of a window.
Can you make the bad thing go away, Graham?
When you defenestrate yourself.
How is that a bad thing? It's Palpatine on a wicked throne.
Have you not seen Rise of Skywalker?
No, why?
That's why it's a bad thing.
I was just going to say, we're going to a throne room, and that we're going to find out that Strahd is one of our dad, is our dad for all of us.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All of our dads.
Yeah, he's all of our dads.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Strahd like the fuck.
Well, he's a vampire. That makes sense.
Ah.
He was into some... for you to be a Dragonborn and for him
Oh,
to
hey. Ease up. This is not True Blood, or Interview with a Vampire, or Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Or Twilight.
or Vampire Diaries, or Twilight, or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or any... It's none of those. This is a vampire game. Why would you think having sex with vampires is going to be a good thing?
Remind me of it.
Here, kitty.
And remind you to never...
I lost my train of thought.
to never watch Tiger King again?
We're just not watching it.
To never forgive Carol Baskin. Anyway, have you actually forgotten what you were going to say?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Oh no. Mordecai's like, honestly, this is sounding like the best plan. Me and the rest of the forces will distract for long enough for you guys to get as close to in position as you can.
Like, it looks like his dark throne sort of opens out onto a balcony sort of thing. Tactically speaking, I would imagine him sort of if he was flying back into the castle, he's going to come back in through that like open balcony.
Well, it's less of a balcony. That's more of a concourse between a couple of the parapets.
But like, he strikes me as the kind of person who will like fly in either as a bat or as just a freaking evil Superman sort of thing through his window into his throne room.
He could also just do the whole vampire mist thing. That's always concerning when they just like disappear into this mist and just fly off like that. That one sucks. Have you ever tried to hit a mist?
I did try and steal some mist one time. That was a funny story, actually. See, me mate,
Me mate Dave.
No, Dave wasn't involved in this. He wanted nothing to do with the mist. He said we were bloody idiots for trying to steal mist, didn't he? Anyway, so
Is this my Dave, or some other Dave?
Everyone has a Dave.
everyone has a Dave. Not all of them float. Some of them float.
They
Some of
all
them have
float
eyes.
down here.
They all. Oh.
And we're reaching the end of movie quotes with Sunday sessions.
Did anybody else have like a thing to weigh in on the planning, sort of figuring out our strategy thing?
Yeah. So you guys will get inside. You make your way to basically set up for the best ambush or final stand or dramatic battle or end game. Make your call. What do you want?
Set up for
That's
our
right.
end game, or our Infinity War, or our Thor Ragnarok, or our Spider-Man Homecoming.
I'm concerned what's happening to Mitch's face.
Oh.
He took a picture of himself.
I hate it.
Can the bad stop now, please?
That's sort of what I imagine Narlag looking like, to be honest.
What? Like,
Like with the shape changing, like it being like
Oh, like
unsettlingly weird.
like halfway through the shape changing, it turns into that.
Yeah.
I honestly think halfway through the shape changing, it just looks like Windows 95 when it crashes. Dragging windows across.
Okay, yeah, that's fair
We
enough.
used to do that to people's desktops at work. You just take a screenshot of their whole screen, hide all of the hide everything that's on the desktops, like minimize everything, get rid of the start bar, hide all of the icons on their thing, and then set the background image as what was on there. And the first thing they do when they get back is they're just trying to click everything and nothing works.
Old fun. Yeah. You guys will get inside the castle, get into position for the final fight, and I think you've got a few varieties of what you want to try and do. I think one version was pretend to be Irina, another one was have the whole fakey sword thing. Wick,
That
I'm
could be
sure, had
another
a good
plan.
plan as well.
We could use TNT,
Dynamite.
blow everything up. We just blow everything to hell.
Oh, we're already in hell.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, like the plan of infiltrating infiltrate the castle while Strahd is occupied. I thought we didn't really need to have Narlag dressed as Irina for that, but if that's one of the things that we're going to do anyway, then might as well. I'm not going to try and do a woman's voice because
Well,
I can't.
what is that going to actually achieve?
Aside from kind of throwing Strahd off his game, of just like, oh, that
For 2
is-
seconds.
Yeah, it might throw him. Well, he might also be a bit reluctant to attack someone.
Lure him in, think that he's coming to see Irina, and then an eye opens on Irina's forehead, and sunlight pours out of it. You go in for the vampire kiss. He grabs you brusquely and like leans you over to go and bare his fangs
But first-
into your ample bosom, and then eye opens on your forehead and blasts him in the fangs with sunbeam. I feel like that could work.
It could very well
It
work.
will get past his defenses, won't it?
I mean, like that was the whole. That was part of the idea. Is just like it's going to throw him off his game if he sees Irina fighting him, regardless of what happens.
Let's practice the heaving bosom part of it.
Let's not.
Are you really insistent about that?
Yeah, I feel like you might need to. Let's just see how you go with it. We're all adults here. No one's. No.
no one's taken their pants off already.
Oh, Narlag turns in. We've made the connection between Wick and the other were-ravens, yeah?
The fact that they can all
I
turn
believe
into
now that
ravens.
you've said, I believe that connection's probably
Just on the
been
Raven
established?
side of it, we haven't spoken about any other part of it. What do you mean?
Do we know of any female were-ravens?
We haven't met any.
No, we met the innkeeper.
Yeah,
oh,
the innkeeper's wife. Yeah, Narlag
Yeah.
turns into the innkeeper's wife. It's like,
I don't think you ever met the innkeeper's wife when she was a people.
excuse me, I very much
All right.
did meet her when she was a people.
Oh, that's right. No, she was. Yeah, that's okay. Cool.
he met and murdered her.
Yeah.
She still has nightmares about it. Yeah.
So, how's this? To Wick.
You're right. You can't do women's voices.
Exactly. Women's voice, women's voice!
We are ladies.
I don't think that's quite gonna work. I was legitimately saying we should practice for the envisaged plan that we've got going on. But if you're not taking this seriously, then don't worry about it.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah. Like, easily transform into Irina, be like, so, this is me. What exactly do we want to do right now? Is there any kind of practice that we need to get done?
Well, immediately, Irina's not wearing a silk suit, so maybe we might need to get some form of dress for you to wear for being Irina trapped.
Irina was going to go and be part of the planning, especially because I do actually have a particular spell that can create a link between the minds of all of us. So I was going to get her to feed lines to me when we're talking to Strahd. Get her to tell me things that she would kind of say.
I like it.
I think part of it is like we're gonna need to. I don't think we can strictly plan out what is going to happen when we're inside the castle. Like,
You have options.
Yeah.
You have a few things you can do.
we also have a dragon siege engine here, just to hit things. So I feel like that's a powerful sort of
It is what I do.
plan. Is just, hey, point the dragon at him,
I like that.
So
I
it
like that
sounds
plan.
Mordecai sounds like you have a reasonable plan then.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good question. Mordenkainen, I've heard of certain spells that can turn people into mythical creatures. Can you turn into a dragon? Because if you can, that would probably be helpful.
Ooh, can you turn me into a dragon?
It might actually be easier for you to do it to you than anyone else. Ta-da! I don't believe that polymorph goes that high.
What?
Like, I mean, are we missing like an integral component to this? Like, can we kill Strahd? Like, he's like immortal, isn't he? Like, we've got the sword and the sunlight and the what have you, but like, can we kill? How did that go? Did you try like sunlight when you fought him last time?
I mean, as I'm sure that Ulrich can attest, and I myself have heard the rumors, even the Guardians of Hell can be killed, so it's very possible.
Oh, a vampire is very much able to be killed. His protections will be significant because he is quite a long-living one. You know, he's been going for near on half a millennia, so he will have his defenses. You don't get to be a vampire of his age by accident. I will imagine just sneaking into his castle and being at his throne room will not be the only step you need to take.
You know, it would actually be very funny if someone managed to stumble ass first into immortality.
Yeah.
That was a character that I wrote for a superhero game that I was planning out. It was cool. I'll tell you about it later. Like, because this was sort of a thing that like pretend elf mate was gonna sort of coach us on like proper vampire killing techniques and the like. He being a proficient vampire hunter, you know.
I have concerns about Rudolph. It is slightly too ambitious as to being the one to slay the vampire. I am keeping him on somewhat of a leash and keeping him with me, because if he goes in there too aggressively, he could blow the whole deal very rapidly.
Oh, that's a wise call. Like, we wouldn't want somebody brash and reckless in the secret going into the castle group, would we? Would we, Ulrich?
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Hey, stop talking about me like that. I can keep a secret.
Well, yes, you definitely didn't mention that Ulrich wet the bed until 13.
I told you that in confidence.
I feel like we're ready to go. We just need to stock up on supplies.
I was going to mention that Blinsky will be awaiting your visit.
Let's go shopping.
Shopping montage.
Yeah,
Fantasy
let's quickly
shop
rip through
where
that.
all your dreams come true. Got a gear for you.
That is TM McElroy Brothers.
Or is it?
Do we need to go through, like, I was going to get, like, the silver and that sort of, like, restocking
Basically,
ammunition for the bows and shit like that, like...
Let's go and say, like, hey, Blinsky, fast forward, do all your fucking shopping, because he's not going to charge you for this bullshit, because you guys are defending the fucking nation. And you'll stock up on things that are reasonable and not, you know, not all going to go walk in there with fucking rocket launchers made of garlic gas.
Well, now that you've said that, that's exactly what we want.
There's a shopping list of like an automated steak launcher,
Tasty.
Three trained xenomorphs that are particularly hungry for vampire flesh.
Ooh! I just had a great idea. You know who you train to hunt vampires? Treants.
That's actually really smart.
Sharpen their fingers.
Yeah.
Can't bite them. They got bark.
No blood.
No blood.
No blood.
Just a little forest
Made
of
entirely
treants.
of wood.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Like, well versed in dealing with bats. We went about this wrong. We should have just trained a treant. Got a treant on our side to hunt vampires.
It's a good plan.
That is freaking genius. I want a short graphic novel about a fucking treant vampire hunter.
Call him Willow.
It's almost like there's definitely been characters in a fantasy setting called Willow before.
All right, I'll put it in. I'll put it in Fortuity. It can be a little guest star in Fortuity somewhere down the line.
Willow the vampire hunting tree ant.
TM.
TM.
So I'm gonna get 3 vials of holy water, 2 of the
Holy water.
Basically, he's giving you sort of basically palming off a like a little belt of holy water. Each of you is like, you will need this. Like plonk plonk plonk. You've all basically just got like this little bandolier of vials, essentially.
Alrighty.
What about those fancy sun
That was
grenades
before you even
from
asked.
Blade?
He's like at the ready. He's like push forward. Like you've got a couple of wooden stakes. Basically, it's a bandolier of things that Rudolph has suggested putting into a kit. It's a couple of stakes, a couple of vials of holy water. You have a small bag of rock salt.
Hold on a second. Okay, it looked like Graham froze for a second there.
I think I did, yes. Because you all did for me.
Sorry.
But yeah, Rudolph has basically essentially put together the vampire hunting essentials kit. It's like a couple of clothes, like garlic essence, holy water vials, stakes. Basically, the
garlic chewing gum.
That's a thing. I know that's a thing somewhere.
What about the
no doubt.
the sunlight grenades from Blade? Blinsky could totally make those, right?
Or like
That'd be cool.
the big UV torch that they had.
We have a big UV torch.
You each have your own UV torches, like
Yeah,
in
it's
your own varieties. So one can blast it out of his brain, one can do it out of a sword, and one can do it with a fucking amulet. Like you have sunshine sorted.
I was just excited.
Another 2 of those silvery spike grenade things. The ones that shoot out the caltrops.
Preferably
Yeah,
dipped in
is it-
holy water.
You don't need it. It's silver.
You got the holy water. It's silver. I've got one of those, so
Just the one.
that's again. I'm not going to give you everything you need, but
Okay. Me 2 to last.
you have. Yeah, I know you. They take a while to make.
Fine. Be that way. Do we just have? Can we just get like a? I suppose we're probably actually going to start the assault soon, so probably best if we.
We can't take a
you guys-
shopping trolley.
No,
with
I
us.
don't mean like a shopping trolley, but
one-
like if
one
there
thing
was
you
just like a
notice-
list of everything he had available, we could go, I want that, I want that, I want that, and then that's what we can take with us.
Essentially, list wise, if you guys between now and next game give me a list of what you would want to get, I'll tell you what you actually get.
Because bear in mind, he doesn't have that much more stuff than he did last time. Because it's been a day.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair point.
Since we saw Blinsky, it's been at least
The
2 or
entire
3.
time you're there is just like a line of residents of Valaki just basically coming through and basically getting Rudolph is there basically handing out militia packs, which is basically a sword or a
Bear arms.
or a pike. Yeah, it's their bear arms, and their rights. They're basically. But they're basically handing out a weapon to each person based on their, their either their skill set or their normal vocation. Like a farmer is given essentially like spears or pitch or forks or things like that. Where someone that's like of the town guard is given something that's a little bit more of a martial weapon. Basically they're finding things that people that are not trained will still be able to use somewhat
Like the
effectively.
woodsmen get axes, the farmers get pikes
Yeah.
because they know how to use a
Yeah.
pitchfork.
Every
Butcher's
every
got like his own big ass cleaver.
Yeah. Every third person gets just like a little collection of the vampire kits. It's just like basically a similar sort of, but less equipped versions of the bandoliers that he's put together for you three.
Have we actually found out how useful garlic is against vampires?
Against this level of vampire, unknown. It's one of those things that's a bit of like a folklore thing. Like Rudolph has always used it, and he swears by it. Whether it actually means anything, it doesn't know. It's
probably a little bit hard to test as well, because you can't just sit stride down and go, look, stand right there, and we've just got to run some scientific experiments.
Experiments for science.
Yeah, Rudolph swears by it. He's used it his entire time, and he is still alive. So he is proof enough to him that garlic is a thing. Whether or not that actually is truly the case is yet to be proven outside of your experience with vampires.
Righto.
Holy water, yes, definitely fucking works. When you guys are geared up with all the various different things that you have bought, you've bought.
Sorry for the noise.
Blinsky's like, I will see you at the end of this. And he, in turn, shakes each of your hands, and it's like each time it's like a full on, like he's got the one handshake, and then brings the second hand in, like he's wishing you the best of wishes for the upcoming battle.
When he goes to shake Wick's hand, like Wick brings it into like a hug and like pats him on the back.
Ah, my boy, you've grown so fast. I remember when you was trying to just steal the toys off the second shelf. Ah,
I got some of them too. I'm actually terribly sorry about that now. Like, was probably sort of a horrible thing to do, but I can't really.
Let's call it even.
Can't really take it.
You come back alive tomorrow, and we'll call it even.
All right. Well, all right, that's a deal. I feel like I sort of win either way in that setup, because if I don't come back tomorrow, it's probably because me and everyone else is dead, and then it's not really going to matter anyway. So like, I agree to this sort of arrangement. Good to deal, Linsky. Keep it.
And as he sort of pulls away from the hug, you can tell that like his eyes are slightly glassy from he's. Yeah.
That's enough of
I had
your
onions
emotions.
for lunch too.
Sorry? What did you say?
I had onions for lunch too.
Damn those onion cutting ninjas. As you guys head out, Rudolph sort of stops the equipping for a moment and comes over and sort of greets you. He's like,
I think I'll miss you most of all.
you weird changey guy. When it's time, give some sort of signal and I'll be there. I'll give you backup. You need my skills there. Just any form of signal, and like some sort of flare or explosion or something that will get my attention.
He's telling.
Do we know anything that does explosions, lads?
We know a couple of things that do explosions. Before we actually go to the big battle, are we going to like sort of gather everyone, and then they're all going to go our separate ways to our each individual ports of call?
Pretty much.
Okay, because like when we gather each other, then I've got to think for that. Yeah. I'm assuming this is at like the final gathering. Everyone's met together now.
Well, this is basically you guys are like leaving Blinsky's at the moment, but and the various different parties are off doing their various bits and pieces. So
when we all meet up just before the final battle, I will have something. We won't need any flashy explosion. You will know when the time comes.
Until then.
See you soon.
And yeah, he gives you a crisp nod. It's like, you guys head out back up to street level of Blinsky's abode, and make your way back out into the street. And there is just an energy around the streets. People are sort of bustling around. A lot of the houses and everything have had their storm shutters all closed up and sealed up. This place is locking down for what could be a pretty rocky day. You see civilians moving backwards and forth. Someone's moving out of Blinsky's with their various different weapons, but you can see them sort of like draping them with cloths or hiding them within their clothes, basically, and then looking suspiciously up to the sky, which is a lot darker and a lot tumultuous than it has been for most of the time you've been here. It's always been overcast. Sometimes it's been darker and drizzly. Sometimes it's literally rained blood. But this time it is rolling tumultuous storm clouds.
Did we remember the angel? Did we have a plan for him, or were we just leaving him alone?
Your last dealing with the angel, who was rather uncooperative.
You disobeyed him, and he threw you out of his fucking church.
There's also that.
We're not friends
We'll
with
probably
him.
just leave. Yeah, we'll probably just leave him where he is. Yeah.
I would have brought him up as a possible person to get on our side in all this, but Wick doesn't know who he is.
Also, Narlag kind of did that thing where he gave like 3 bottles of the weird Elder God whiskey to the whole town.
So you burnt that bridge.
A little bit, yeah.
With that, we sort of leave you three walking through the we sort of zoom out on you three walking through the streets of Valaki, and the whole this sort of scene sort of pans backwards and then sort of reverses away from Valaki, reaching to a level just below the cloud level, moving across and then pulling backwards towards Castle Ravenloft. Your view sort of like you see as it sort of zooms backwards, a couple of gatehouse spires move between your left and right into your foreview, and then also your vision sort of passes through a stained glass window and into a large chamber. This chamber is an audience hall and is focused on a large chair. There's a large throne. It is velvet red and black, and sitting on it with a slight angle.
Not a indigo or anything.
Does it look comfortable? Does it have a nice
It's
cushion?
It's a particularly comfy chair. But sitting on this one at a slightly off angle with one leg sort of crossed over the other, just sort of plucking away at the strings of his violin, and then sort of plucking the notes out and then tuning his violin, and then just like dropping the bow onto it and playing a mournful tune as he's just thinking over the plans he has for his country,
of the night.
his people, his cattle. As Strahd plays a tune into the morning, and that's where we'll end it for tonight.
Ominous.
And that's this week's episode of the Sunday Sessions. You can email the crew at isolatedcitygaming@gmail.com, Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Isolated City Gaming. And if you like what you hear, tell a friend. We're available across a lot of platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and on YouTube. Just search for Isolated City Gaming or The Sunday Sessions. Catch you out there.